What's up everyone? Hope you've been well and keeping well. So we're going to play a different game probably tomorrow, judging from the poll left in the community. Someone left a comment which was to play this game, this like horror based game. So I don't know how I'm actually going to focus on two things at once, because it's a little bit hard to focus on the two of talking in a horror game. I'm not the biggest fan of horror as a genre, but we'll give it a go. And then we'll do Fallout, because Fallout got the most votes. I'm thinking about doing that as like from number 1 to all the way to the current one, which I think is Fallout 4 or 76. I can't remember which one exactly. But yeah, without further ado, you pretty much clicked it for the title. So yeah, life's purpose is just to exist. Like, if you're someone that kind of struggles with, I guess, overall direction on where you want to go, and you're starting to complicate things, maybe you've entered the rabbit hole a little bit too deep, maybe it could even be just that you're just confused. You haven't spent enough time with yourself, and you're kind of struggling to find the answers, or the so-called answers. And the reason why I say so-called answers is because they may not exactly exist. As humans, we do like to complicate life a lot of the time, so sometimes it does us more harm than good. Other times it does us more good than harm. And that's where the sort of, embracing every piece of the journey is really key in order to understanding each of the lessons that come along the way. But yeah, for those, I guess, who think that, there is no purpose, that's a fair enough point to make. And you're not wrong to an extent, I mean, I'm sure you guys have a lot of reasons as to why you might think like that. And I think it also creates a good level of self-awareness to even start to think like that to some degree. Because usually what seems to happen is that everyone starts off like that, and then the more they kind of explore themselves and life itself, they kind of find it along the way. I don't think it's given to everyone unless you are comfortable with, your life as it is. And let's go say hi to these pandas real quick, because I'm not exactly sure if they have any use in this game, but they look cool. So there's that. Can I give you this? No, I can't. You don't want it. But yeah, so life does have purpose, and the first level of this is just to exist. What do I mean by this? So if you kind of don't feel like you have a purpose or anything like that, damn, it's gotten real dark real quick. I don't know how this will look on the video, but yeah. I mean, if you didn't have any purpose, you just wouldn't exist, right? I guess you standing here and existing is pretty much purpose, because, the same way like a rock just chills, you exist. And this alone is life, in its core essence of it, like, you're made up of elements and particles and all this stuff, so maybe that is exactly the purpose. It's just to exist. And I know that can make some people really think like, yo, that's not good enough. But if you actually look at it, like, even in a game like this, even to be able to play a game like this, where the graphics are like, okay, they're not exactly the best, right? But it has its purpose. And this alone is life, without any of the complications that people associate with having a specific life purpose, and you have to know where you're going and things like that, because a lot of the times most people don't. Even the people that you look up to, deep down inside, they might even realize this themselves, and what they might think is life purpose is actually just being accustomed to your daily life, and along the way they had some opportunities presented to them, and they made the most of it. So yeah, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Learn from them, but yeah, don't compare. That's not a very healthy thing to do. And yeah, I mean, maybe obviously some people would have it figured out, but this video is basically for the people that kind of don't, or at least think that they don't. And so obviously, as I said before, level 1 is pretty much to just exist, just to be, with the elements that make up you, with the cells that work for you every day. What is this? How do I get inside this? What is this? It's like a big house. I mean, not the best looking house, but it's better than me building. I suck at building in this game. I just follow a tutorial and that's about it usually. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get in. But yeah, so level 1 is to pretty much just exist, right? And there's nothing wrong with this stage. There's nothing wrong with this level. You know, you're just going by life. And if anything, that should probably liberate you, because that means you don't have to have a specific duty that you kind of have to follow. It gives you less stress, and you can start to think, you know what do I want out of life, rather than, okay, this is my thing, I have to do this, kind of like, you have that kind of freedom, and that like also freedom from, I guess you could call it, duty. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what this is. I've never actually seen one, but it's like should be a tripwire somewhere here, right? Oh, I thought there were like arrows or something that I had to. Oh, what is this? Whoa! Right, see, that's where the tripwire is. A bit too late to get a jump scare like that. How do I break this? Okay, we've got arrows, I guess. From where do I pick this up from? Can't see anything right now, so that doesn't really help. There we go. Okay, it's hidden behind the vine. And we have another one over here. Somehow I still... Oh, there it is, okay. I would say level 2 is more so, alright, I'm interested in this and this and this. What can I make of this? Now you're starting to think of like, alright, what can I get behind? Maybe life is cool. You start to be a little bit grateful for things and here and there. And you're starting to connect the dots, right? And then obviously as you go along, stage 3 or however many stages you really want to call it, you start to develop an awareness in the sense of, I guess you could call the great cosmos, and how beautiful life is. And from that you also collect your interests and also what you're good at, what your talents are, and you put them to use. What your genetic makeup has given you, and also your passions, you kind of intertwine them, and you start to, what on earth is that? Oh, okay, so Paul, the colours are like really trippy on this one. That does look cool. Hey, listen, that kind of purple looks amazing. Just the way that, look at the hue on it. I'm getting too sidetracked. That's the thing about games like this, man. You just honestly. Oh, is this fully made? Should be able to enter this, right? Oh, it's missing one piece. Alright. Oh, would you look at that? Now, before we go into this portal, let me just quickly summarize the video for you guys. Yeah, life purpose. I will definitely go into more depth in the future, but I guess stage 3 is more so, again, your interests, everything's kind of like interlinked. It's more kind of divinely connected in a sense. And then you start to move from there, and life is more harmonious, things move more in flow, and you're happier, you understand what sets you off, what doesn't set you off, and what you're good at, what you're not good at. And along the way, despite even having all of this, you still will lose your way sometimes, because that's a part of life. In order to learn some lessons, you kind of have to go through the forgetfulness and things like that. So yeah, so how could you really apply some of this, I guess, what I'm talking about today? Well, for starters, start to figure out what you're interested in. And if you can't really think about that, or you're interested in too many things, that's also perfectly fine. What you're interested in now, what you were interested in as a kid, and start to figure out the kind of common theme that you might have. It could be sports, it could be drawing, it could be something creative, it could be science, it could be anything. And then you start to figure out things you're good at. How have I managed to do things well? Am I innovative? Am I good with speech? Am I good with like hands-on? And so on, right? And then from there, you find a good common link. And this will take some time, which is why a lot of people won't kind of do it or be discouraged to do it. But as long as you have something written down, that's all I would ask of you guys to do. Or you can keep a mental note of it, of course, but how often do we really keep it, right? And then, yeah, you just move from there, really. And then along the way, whilst you're figuring out those kind of things, you also want to work on Maybe there's a few things that you might realize that you're really talented in, but it requires some fears to get over. We'll cover fear in another video, but because it's a very lengthy topic. But we'll use an example for now. Say you're scared of talking to people, but you have these great ideas that you could just vocalize to the world. You can't exactly unlock that dream unless you get over that fear. And that's why it's so important to also work on yourself, work on your mind, and also be courageous. Because once you're courageous with some of the things that you're constantly running away from, life just becomes so much better, man. So, do what you will with that. And to end the episode, we shall go into the nether, I believe, because it should be complete. Clearly not. That's a bummer, honestly. Yeah, I think it's because of this, what is it, crying obsidian or whatever it is. Anyway, appreciate you guys for watching. We'll probably start the new game tomorrow. I have to get it on, I think it's on Steam. But yeah, peace and blessings to you all. We'll see you in the next one.